Gambia's renowned comedian Kitabu Fati calls on Gambians to vote for Essa Fall in the upcoming polls. And the UDP leader vows to build a model settlement for the people of Fas Ndiaga Choi when elected. And in the internationals, the president of Tunisia will hold a national dialogue to end the country's political crisis. These and more stories coming your way on the World Today newscast. It's 17:30 in Banjul. You are watching the World Today newscast with me, Julde Suare, and now the news in detail. Gambia's renowned comedian Kitabu Fati, now the party leader of the Progressive Development Party (PDP), has called on Gambians to vote for Essa Fall in the upcoming December 4th presidential election. The PDP leader made these remarks at Essa Fall's first rally held at the Talinding Buva zone where hundreds of his supporters gathered. Usman Jata reports.
The former comedian is of the belief that Essa Fall is the solution to the Gambia's problems. Since his alliance with Essa Fall, he has always described the lawyer as the best candidate for the December 4th race. Speaking at the recent rally of Council Fall, the PDP leader calls on people to stop the politics of insults. Open your eyes and stop the politics of foul language and provocation. We should graduate from that stage. The party of Essa Fall is the only political party that has had a code of conduct since its establishment to address how his party loyalists should behave. Dilating on the state of the country, the PDP leader says that the Gambia is no more peaceful, stating that there is high prevalence of hunger in the small West African country. The level of hunger in the Gambia is frustrating. Before, people call each other for lunch, but now that is a thing of the past. The cheapest rice of the country, which happens to be American rice, costs nothing less than $1,400. Is this not worrying? Do you want such a government to continue ruling you? I hope this coming December you will all come together and cast your votes for Essa Fall. The PDP leader formed an alliance with the former TRRC lead council and declared his support to Essa Fall ahead of the December 4th presidential elections. Essa Fall is the latest political candidate to join the Gambia's political race after he declared his intention to run for the presidency in the December presidential polls. However, in order for him to make it in the December 4th polls, he needs to make a lot of effort to gain the trust and confidence of people. Osman Chata, iAfrica News.
Kitabu Fati calls on Gambians to vote for Essa Fall in the upcoming December polls. Now, the incumbent Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has been reinstated for a second 5-year term following a landslide victory in the Ethiopian parliamentary lower house elections. Mr. Ahmed was sworn in on Monday as part of the first day of the Ethiopian House of People's Representative New Year 5-year term. Details in this report. Abiy Ahmed's ruling party, the Prosperity Party, won a landslide victory in the national elections that was held in June. Following his appointment, Ahmed is expected to form a new cabinet which will form the new federal government structure. Ahmed was first appointed as the country's prime minister in April 2018. The 45-year-old politician had served the East African country at different high-level positions, including as Minister of Science and Technology. Ahmed's Prosperity Party secured more than 400 out of the 436 parliamentary electoral constituencies, according to the National Electoral Board of Ethiopia. For iAfrica News, Julde Suare. Ethiopia's Abiy Ahmed has been appointed as Prime Minister for the second time. Now, family members of the victims of the Kabul bomb explosion are calling on the government to act responsibly by providing medical care to all those affected, as the number of deaths reached 8 as of Monday. The explosion occurred in the middle of a crowd at the gate of Getra Great Mosque when a prayer ceremony was being held for the late mother of the Taliban spokesperson. Details in this report by Amadou Kante.
Following the recent deadly bomb attack in Kabul, the capital city of Afghanistan, family members of the victims are calling the government to take action with an all-out medical response for those injured in the attack and uphold its duty to the people. The death toll has since risen to 8 people, while 20 others were reported injured as of Monday. Speaking in the aftermath of Sunday's explosion, the son of one of the blast victims urged the authorities to protect the people and discharge their duties responsibly.
The emergency hospital provides good services. My father was injured and then hospitalized here. We are happy with them. I request the Islamic Emirate to serve its people and act based on the responsibility they are given.
Another victim's family member said he is worried because visitors are not allowed to enter the emergency surgical hospital in Kabul, where most casualties from the explosion have been treated.
I have a patient here in the emergency hospital. You ask if there are problems with the services, but we don't know about problems and shortages inside the hospital. We are not allowed to meet our patients and do not know whether the patient receives good health services or not. We don't just know.
With little over a month since revolutionaries seized control of Afghanistan, taking control of major cities and installing themselves in the presidential palace in Kabul, the Taliban's new interim government is facing a range of threats from internal enemies. A deadly suicide attack at Kabul's airport in August and a spate of bombings targeting members of the Taliban in the eastern Afghanistan city of Jalalabad, all claimed by groups of IS Khorasan and affiliates of ISIS, have highlighted the threat that other violent militant groups pose to the country's stability and the Taliban's rule. Reporting for African News, I am Amadou Kante.
Now, after its refurbishments, Egypt's historic Islamic mosque has been reopened for the public after it has been neglected for over 100 years. Built in 1340 AD, the ancient mosque is regarded as one of the greatest and most attractive monuments in the country. The government's initiative to renovate the historic religious place cost more than $30 million, funded by the EU and other partners. More of that in this report.
The mosque, which was inaugurated by Egypt's Tourism and Antiquities Ministry, was built in 1340 AD by Prince al-Timbugha al-Maridani, son-in-law of then-ruler Sultan al-Nasir Muhammad bin Qalawun. It's located in Old Cairo's historic suburb of El-Darb al-Ahmar.
He was a minister of defense and was very popular with the Sultan al-Nasir Muhammad bin Qalawun. He built the mosque as a gift to the Sultan. It was unique, being the largest mosque at the time with the largest prayer area. The dome is a famous one taken from the huge Bin Talawun Mosque. It's actually a water tank that's been decorated and transformed into a dome. The minaret is beautiful in its engineering design. It has a square base linked to an octangular design above and the top crown of the minaret. What's attractive as well are the motifs, its glass drawings and its various colors.
Egypt is known for continuous restoration work on ancient Egyptian monuments, but experts are also working hard to restore treasures from other dynasties, such as this Islamic mosque that was left without renovation for more than 100 years.
The renovation work here is not very different than on ancient Egyptian pieces. The basics are the same, as we don't change anything in the original monument and its structure, whatever the historical period. The main aim is to clean and renovate the monument and restore it to its original state. The project here took 3 years to finish. The most important restoration work took place on the prayer area that was damaged, the minaret and the floors, as well as cleaning all tiles and granite columns and wooden covers.
The Egyptian government is focusing on reintroducing Islamic, Coptic, and Jewish cultural heritage on the tourism agenda, alongside the more famous ancient Egyptian history. And this $32 million restoration work, funded by the Aga Khan Foundation and the European Union, supports the government's initiative. It's part of a project titled Creating Access to Cairo's Islamic Heritage, which also upgrades the areas surrounding the historical mosques for locals to benefit by producing handmade pieces and opening bazaars for visitors.
The Bab el Wazir is one of the most important sites in Old Cairo. There is extra attention by authorities to ensure the whole district is well renovated and all Islamic sites here are restored, and not just this mosque, to ensure they become a focal point.
The final phase of the project will see this poor neighborhood of Old Cairo transformed into a new attractive touristic destination.
Now the report from Egypt, we come back home because the leader of the United Democratic Party, lawyer Ousseynou Dabo, started his meeting at Berending in the North Bank region of the country. Lawyer Dabo promised the people of Fas Ndiaga Choi to build a model settlement in the Gambia when elected in the upcoming December 4th presidential election. Our political correspondent, Binta Jallo, who has been following the tour, has more of that in this report.
The United Democratic Party commenced a nationwide tour to educate the masses on its five-point agenda. During the tour, the party leader will hold rallies at different communities and towns, all geared towards gathering first-hand information about the problems facing the populace, especially those in the province. The tour came barely a week after the President of the Republic concluded his 17 days Meet the People's tour. As December 4th presidential election approaches, the United Democratic, just like any other party, has started campaigning to win the hearts of over 900,000 registered voters. The United Democratic Party is a political party in the Gambia, founded in 1996 by three political parties, the then banned PPP, NCP, and the GPP, and chose the human rights lawyer and freedom fighter A&M Ousseynou Dabo to be the party leader and secretary general. The UDP party came second with 32.6% of the popular vote in the 2001 presidential election and 26.7% in the 2006 presidential election. For iAfrican News, Binta Jallo.
The report by Binta Jallo will take us to our first break. Still to come, it's more local and international news. Do stay tuned.
The locations, the design, the materials used, all the way down to the latest details, are few of many things that we focused on when we envisioned the airport residency. As proud innovators of community estates, the airport residency in Old Yundum, a project by Swami India International, offers unique gated community with 3- and 4-bedroom villas and duplexes. Just 5 minutes away from the Banjul International Airport. Luxury, convenience, and accessibility are some of the reasons you should consider this great housing opportunity. With a clubhouse, a playground, access roads, and parking facilities available for your dream home or a valuable investment, you will find all you need at Airport Residency here in Old Yundum.
TAF Africa Global is the first and biggest private real estate developer in the Gambia, with a presence in 7 other African countries. We are launching the development of the first smart and most modern office and retail towers in the Gambia, called TAF Twins, located in the heart of the Canifing Institutional Area and 10 minutes drive from Banjul. TAF Twins is designed to have 5 floors of office spaces ranging from 50 meters square to over 1,000 meters square, 2 elevators, central air conditioning, 24-hour electricity and water supply, with the ground floor reserved for banking, supermarket, restaurant and coffee shops. For your bookings and reservations, please call now on 376-2333 or 776-2333.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is the World Today newscast with me, Julden Jaisware, and now to the rest of our stories. Austria-based Gambian artist T Small was welcomed back by fans at the Banjul International Airport on Friday evening after being away from the country for almost 2 years. The young artist is about to hit a mega concert at the Independence Stadium on the 6th of November to celebrate his 15 years music anniversary. Abinta Jallo was at the airport and she now reports.
Upon arrival, the young artist was thrilled to see a lot of his fans chanting his name and celebrating his arrival in the country. The All-African Music Award nominee in 2016 is expected to do a double album launching concert at the Independence Stadium. The young international rapper said he has been working hard to improve his career over the years.
Because I'm established in Austria right now. I'm registered as an artist there as well, and I have a band that I'm playing with. So it's like over the years the traveling had made me able to build another family there. So this is the why when the child came, then I have a reason to stay and fix those things for myself as an artist.
On the most anticipated upcoming concert, T Small says he is well prepared.
It's gonna be a crazy show. We're gonna definitely have T Smalls as the way they used to know T Smalls, but it's gonna be even better this time because I've been away and a lot of experience added value to my arts right now. So definitely people gonna see a different T Smalls, inshallah.
Accredited as one of the most widely traveled international artists, T Smalls has toured different African and European countries. He returns to the Gambia to entertain and share love with his fans. Ibrahim Asuso, aka Turbo Smalls, no doubt is one of Gambia's astonishing reggae dancehall come hip-hop stars in recent years. He was born on the 9th of August 1996 into the legendary Griot family, also known as Jalouse in Mandinka. For IAFRICA News, Binta Jallo.
Now, the decision of the Tunisian president to hold a national dialogue to end the country's political crisis have been welcomed by several stakeholders, including political parties and civil society organizations. Mr. Said has been widely criticized by the opposition for imposing his one-sided rule in the country. Experts believe an inclusive national dialogue is needed to restore sanity in the North African country. We have more details of that in this report.
Several political parties and civil society organizations have expressed support for the National Dialogue Initiative led by President Sayed.
We support this decision and the measurement taken by the President of the Republic, Mr. Kais Saied, because we also called for that even before the 25th of July. Today, maybe the President has some difficulties in the communication part of his work today, but we can understand that because maybe he has some problems with some political party.
The opposition has, however, criticized the head of state's monopoly of powers, Many politicians say Kais Saied is relying on foreign support to impose his rule and his one-sided vision of the process of national dialogue.
We reject any form of foreign interference in Tunisian affairs. However, the president has opened the door for foreign states to interfere. He is meeting foreign ministers of foreign countries and their parliamentary delegations to explain his moves and the current situation, while he refuses to meet all his Tunisian supporters and opponents. This is not the right approach to starting a national dialogue.
Political analysts assert that Tunisia needs a national dialogue to end the current crisis. However, this initiative needs to involve all political parties, civil society organizations, as well as labor unions, national figures, and constitutional law experts.
Many Tunisian parties and national organizations have been calling for national dialogue, but they have learnt about the project in the communique of the Élysée instead of the Tunisian presidency. The president discussed this issue with French President Macron. This is the second time that Tunisians learn about internal politics through the French presidency. This is unacceptable for Tunisia's sovereignty.
Analysts maintain that the Tunisian president brushed aside much of the 2014 constitution. Kais Saied has also given himself powers to legislate by decree. Saied also appointed a new prime minister and said he will form a committee to amend the constitution.
More than 90 frozen MPs have signed a petition calling for the resumption of the activities of the House of the People's Representatives. President Saied suspended parliament and lifted MPs' immunity in July. Experts assert that these decisions are against any political dialogue initiative in the country.
The Tunisian President Kais Saied to hold a national dialogue to end the country's political crisis. Well, viewers, that does it for today's edition of the World Today newscast with me, Juldenjai Suare. But for more of these and others, you can join us in our subsequent news bulletins. Many thanks indeed for the pleasure of your company, and do have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.